has the largest human population on the island and is home to Charles Darwin Research Station. Because the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. During cold season, which lasts June to November, the steady cold wind blows. That means that from Wednesday day, there is no option of quick blow. During the warm season of December to May, the temperatures are 25 degrees. It is warm and sunny, because sometimes heavy rains. Also, because the location or many around for many years, the island have little contact with people. The Galapagos Island a group of The Galapagos Islands are a group of islands about 1,000 kilometers western Ecuador in the Pacific Ocean. Most of 40,000 people who live there speak Spanish. In the early 19th century, Charles Darwin sailed to the island on a ship called the Beagle, and learned about unique animals he found there, including giant tortoises, sea lions, whales, and injured birds. Darwin studies the Galapagos helped to develop a series of animal and human development. And not similar than the many beautiful rubies type of birds that's interesting things to document. Presents and dance around the shore for the blue tree. The islands are usually appear like trees, as some of them are for lovely beaches, where visitors can swimming play. There are people living on the 5 island. The island of St. Cruz has the largest human population on the island, and to the Charles Darwin Research Station. During the courses last June November, the study called Wimbroads. It means like before the day as possible. During the warm season of December to May, partially temperatures around 25 degrees. It is warm and sunny because sometimes heavy rain. Because the location of many other islands for many years, the island have little contact with people. The types of animal plants developed war. The first Europeans should be discovered around about 16th century. They didn't find any people, but they didn't find evidence that those American people had been there before. Europeans brought out cats, squirrels, dogs, which might see posing in section to be armed. They present certain animals and birds which could not defend themselves. They are not a part of Ecuador. Because the animals around the island are so unusual, government and other organizations make their areas to protect them. There have been several programs. Many scientists come to the island for study and research. They try to protect the natural environment. Human population living on the island and the growing number of tourists over both threaten the neighborhood. The Galapagos Island, a group of islands about 1,000 kilometers west of Ecuador in the Pacific Ocean. Most of the 40,000 people who live there speak Spanish. In the early 19th century, Charles Darwin sailed to the island in a ship called the Beagle, and wrote about the unique animals himself there, including giant land tortoises, sea lions, whales, and injured birds. Darwin's studies in the Galapagos helped develop the series of animal and human development. And not similar to other many blue rubies, a type of bird that does interesting things to attract a mate. The birds exchange presents and dance around the shore of their bright tree. The island have unusual broader than trees, and some of them for trick balls, rubbed beaches, where visitors can swim free. They are free living on the 5 island. The island of St. Cruz has the largest human population in the island, and it's home to the Darwin Research Station. Because of location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot, but during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. It rains instead, and is often take fall. During the warm season in December to May, the temperatures around 25 degrees. It is warm and sunny, but there are sometimes heavy rains. Also, because the location in the 16th century, they didn't find any people, but they could maybe that was American people had been there before. European both got cats, cows, dogs, rats, mice, poultry, and insects to be around. These creatures threatened the animal birds, which could not defend themselves. The island are part of Ecuador. Because the animal influence the island is so usual, the Ecuadorian government organization makes serious. Only part of the island. Because the location, Galapagos Island should be home. But during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold from it rain. Galapagos Island should be home. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be home. But during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. Airlines right reforms today, there is often a fog. During the warm season of December to May, the average temperature is around 25 degrees. It is warm and sunny. Heavy rains. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. But during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. It rains every day, and there are constant fog. During the warm season of December to May, the average warms. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. But during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. It rains lightly from almost a day, and there is often a thick fog. During the warm season of December, maybe the temperature around 25 degrees. It is warm and sunny, but there are sometimes heavy rains. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. But during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. It rains lightly from the mountains of fog. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. But during the cold, which from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. It rains lightly day, and there was often thick fog. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. But during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. At night, lightly for most of the day, there is often thick fog. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. But during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. It rains lightly for most day, and there often thick fog. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. But during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. It rains lightly for most of the day, and there is often thick fog. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. But during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. It rains lightly for most of the day. There is often a thick fog. Then the warm season, the December to May, the opposite. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. During the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. It rains lightly for most of the day. There is often thick fog. During the warm season of December to May, the opposite. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. But during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. It rains lightly for most of the day, and there is often thick fog. During the warm season of December to May, because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. But during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. It rains lightly for It rains lightly for most of the day. It rains lightly for most of the day. It rains lightly for most of the day, and the water during the warm season of the average temperatures. It rains lightly for most of the day, and there is often a thick fog. During the warm season of December till May, the average temperature is around 25 degrees. It is warm, sunny, sometimes heavy rain. It rains lightly It rains lightly from it rains it rains lightly for most of it rains lightly from it rains lightly for most of the day. It rains right for most of the day. It rains right for it rains right for most of the day. It rains right for it rains lightly for most of the day. 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 And is often sick for. During the warm season of December to May, the average temperature is around 25 degrees. Most of the day, and the problem sick for. Then a warm day, the temperature may be temperature is around 25 degrees. December to May. During the warm season of the December to May, the average temperature is about During the warm season of December to May, the average temperature During the warm season of December to May, the average temperature is about 25 degrees. Average. During the average season of December May, the average temperature is around 25 degrees. It's warm and sunny, but there are sometimes heavy rains. Also, because of the location for many of the land, for many years the island had little contact with people. The types of animals and plants that developed and unique are the world. The French Europeans discovered the island probably in the early 16th century. They find island people to find evidence that South American people had been there before. European brought goats, cats, cars, dogs, rats, massive horses, insects to the island. These creatures threatened the native animals and birds, which could not defend themselves. The island are part of Ecuador. Because the animals and the plants in the island are so usual, the Ecuadorian government and the organization make their effort to protect them. They have a program together. When scientists come to the island for study and research, they try to protect the natural environment, but the human population being on the island and growing as the tourists. The Galapagos Islands is a group of islands about 1,000 kilometers west of Ecuador Pacific Ocean. Most of the 14,000 people who live there speak Spanish. In the early 19th century, Charles Darwin sailed to the island a ship called Pico, wrote about union, including giant tortoises, seals, whales, and Uruguay. Darwin studied the Galapagos had to develop in serious development. And now, one of many rubies type of birds that's interesting to mate. But the exchange presents thousands such special observable trees. The island have unusual important trees. Some of them take forests or lovely beaches with this can swim play. There are people living only 5 of the island. The island of Santa Cruz has the largest human population on the island and is home to Charles Darwin Research Station. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot, but during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold will it means the rest of the day. There is no quick fall. During the warm season, the December to May, the temperature 25 degrees. It is warm and sunny because sometimes heavy rains. The Galapagos Island, a group of islands, but 1,000 kilometers west of Ecuador in the Pacific Ocean. Most of the 40,000 people who live there speak Spanish. In the early 19th century, Charles Darwin sailed to the island in a ship called the Beagle, and wrote about the unique animals he found there, including giant root trees, sea lion, bird, and unusual bird, unusual, an unusual bird, an unusual, 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 un, unusual bird, unusual bird, unusual bird, unusual bird. Darwin studied in the Galapagos helped him develop his series about animal and human development. On North Seymour Island, there are many blue-footed. On North Seymour Island, there are many blue-footed boobies, a type of bird that does interesting things to attract mates. The birds exchange presents and dance around the show off the bright blue feet. The islands have unusual plant life and trees, and some of them have thick forests or lovely beaches where visitors can swim and play. There are people living on only five of the islands. The island of Santa Cruz has the largest human population in the island. There are people living on only five of the islands. The island of Santa Cruz has the largest human population in the island, and is home to the Charles Darwin Research Station. Because of their location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. Because of their location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. But during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. It rains lightly for most of the day, and there is often thick fog, often a thick dog. And there is often a thick dog. During the warm season of December to May, the average temperature is around 25 degrees. It is warm and sunny, but there are sometimes heavy rains. The Galapagos Islands are a group of islands about 10,000 kilometers west of Ecuador in the Pacific Ocean. Most of the 40,000 people who live there speak Spanish. In the early 19th century, Charles Darwin sailed to the island in a ship called the Beagle and Charles Darwin sailed to the island in a ship called Beagle and wrote about the unique animals he found there, including giant loud turtles, sea lions, birds, and unusual birds. Darwin's studies in Galapagos helped him develop his theories about animal and human development. On North Seymour Island, there are many blue-footed boobies, a type of bird that does interesting things to attract mates. The birds exchange presents or dance around the shore of the bright blue feet. The island have unusual plant. The island have unusual plant life and trees, and some of them have thick forests of lovely branches where visitors can swim and play. The island have unusual plant life and trees, and some of them have thick forests of lovely beaches where visitors can swim and play. There are people living on only 5 of these islands. The island of Santa Cruz has the largest human population in the island and is home to the Charles Darwin Research Station. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot, but during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. It rains lightly for most of the day, and there is often thick fog. During the warm season of December to May, the average temperature is around 25 degrees. It is warm and sunny, but there are sometimes heavy rains. Because of their location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot, but during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a thick cold wind blows. It rains lightly for most of the day. And there is often a thick fog. During the warm season of December to May, the average temperature is around 25 degrees. It is warm and sunny, but there are sometimes heavy rains. Because of their location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot, but during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. It rains lightly for most of the day, and there is often thick fog. During the warm season of December to May, the average temperature is around 25 degrees. It is warm and sunny, but there are sometimes heavy rains. The Galapagos Islands are a group of islands about 1,000 kilometers western by Ecuador and the Pacific Ocean. Most of the 40,000 people who live there speak Spanish. In the early 19th century, Charles Darwin sailed to the island on a ship called the Pico and learned about the unique animals he found there, including giant tortoises, sea lions, whales, and unusual birds. Darwin studied the Galapagos helped develop a series about animal and human development. And now seem around the many beautiful rubies, but purpose does interesting things to attract mates. The bird exchange presents dance around the shore of the bright ruby. The island have unusual plant life and trees. Some of them are stake for lovely beaches, where visitors can swim and play. There are people living on the Holiday Island. The island of Santa Cruz has the largest human population in the island, and its home to Charles Darwin Research Station. Because of location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot, but during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, a steady cold wind blows. It rains mostly. During the warm season of December to May, the aperture temperature is around 25 degrees. It is warm and sunny, with sometimes heavy rains. Has the largest human population on the island, and is home to Charles Darwin Research Station. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot, but during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, the steady cold wind blows. It rains mostly every day, and often for cold. During the warm season, the December to May, the aperture temperature around 25 degrees. Has the largest human population on the island, and its home shares the windy station. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot, but during the cold season, which lasts from June to November, the steady cold wind blows. It renders mostly every as often as weak fog. During the warm season, the December to May, we watch a temperature around 40 degrees. It is warm sunny, big heavy rains. Has the largest human population on the island, and it's home to Charles Darwin Research Station. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. During the cold season, which lasts from June to November, steady cold wind blows. It rains most of the day. There is often a peak fall. During the warm season of December to May, the temperatures are around 25 degrees. It is warm and sunny, because sometimes heavy rains. Also, because the location warms many of the land, or many years the island have little contact with people. The types of animals and plants develop a unique code word. The first Europeans to discover the island of Ivan. The Galapagos Islands are a group of land about 1,000 kilometers west of Ecuador in the Pacific Ocean. Most of the 40,000 people who live there speak Spanish. In the early 19th century, Charles Darwin sailed on the island on a ship called the Pico and learned about unique animals he found there, including giant tortoises, sea lions, whales, and unusual birds. Darwin studied the Galapagos helped develop a series of animal and human development. And not similar around the many ruby type of birds does interesting things to instruct me. The birds exchange presents and dance around the shore for the beautiful feet. They are random unusual fruit trees. Some of them must take fruit to lovely beaches where visitors can swim and play. There are people living on the far end of the island. The land of the tentacles has the largest human population on the island, and also home to Charles Research Station. Because of the location, the Galapagos Islands should be hot. During the cold season, which lasts from June to November, the steady cold wind blows. It means the reflected and often a big fall. During the warm season, December to May, we about temperature 25 degrees. It is warm and sunny, because sometimes heavy rains. But